hot day today. Hey guys, this is Alberto from A to Z Tactical Academy, and today we're going to go over how do you safely learn to draw from the holster. Alright, so it's very hot out here, so I'll try to do this in one take. It's 110 degrees in Arizona. I am at the Casa Grande shooting range, and that direction is the berm. So the shooting range goes that way. I will be pointing a blue gun to the camera. No live firearms are near me, and obviously that's the back, right, the parking lot, so I can't point the gun that way even if it's a blue gun. So what's the easiest way to learn to draw from a holster safely, right? A lot of times, if you are a member of a shooting range, an indoor shooting range, or if you intend to do IDPA, USCCA competitions, they're going to want to see you draw from a holster in a safe way. They want to see you do a draw, a couple of draws, if you will, and then they will deem you holster qualified, right? So then you can go rent a lane at an indoor range and shoot drawing from the holster. So how do you get there, right? If you've never done a draw from a holster, how do you do this? Well, we're going to do it in reverse. So you don't start with the gun in the holster. You start with the gun extended as if you're aiming to the target. So I have here a blue gun, right? So I'm just going to be pointing this at the camera. I also have my Safairland GLS. Is an active grip locking system. So the gun doesn't come out until I assume a firing grip. But anyway, so the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you are always downrange. If you're practicing this at home, make sure that you're in a room where you pick a safe direction. If you're using your real firearm and not a prop or blue gun, make sure there are no chances of you loading ammunition in that firearm, and you tell people that you're going to be doing that. The first thing you would want to do is assume a firing grip. Assume a good firing grip. Don't care about the holster at this point, but what it is that you're basically going to have the web of the hand as high on the beaver tail as possible. This finger will be indexed ideally close to the ejection port or on some feature of the gun, some physical feature of the gun. In this case, it could be the disassembly pin, it could be the ejection port, it could be some depression in the frame, something like that, right? Having the finger off the frame, although it qualifies for not having it on the trigger, doesn't qualify as a parking place, right? So, because here, I don't know how far from the gun I am. Here, I know exactly where I am. So, learn to kind of place your finger somewhere, give it a parking spot, give it a spot where you know where it is. The other thing is that your gun grip should fit your hand, right? So all three fingers should be completely into the grip. If you have a small gun that only allows you to do this, get a pinky extension or get a magwell or something like that. Or plain and simple, that gun's just too small for you. The thumb really doesn't do much other than activate safeties if you have a safety. So it just kind of goes like this. So this is my right hand firing grip. Your left hand firing grip should be this joint on the index finger, joints with this other one here. And then you're going to grab the gun, not leaving, let me see if I can show this, not leaving any part of the frame not covered by your hand. So if you're gripping like this and you see gun in a space, on recoil, this is going to do this part. Right, so you just cover all of it, and then a good check is if you turn it this way, this finger should end about where the thumb is. These two are about the same distance. That's kind of a good grip, right? So this is a firing grip. Next is we're going to point it at our target and then come back to what we call high compress. High compress is basically just here pointing at the target or downrange. But you're basically high and on your chest, right? Not this, none of that, because this is just not high compress. High compress is here, still pointing downrange, and extend and come back. And just learn to do this, maintaining that firing grip. Once you get good at this part, we can introduce another portion to it. The next portion would be to separate your hands Your non-firing head should go to your chest. Why? To avoid putting it in front of the muzzle, right? So after you come back, you put this hand on your chest, and we are going to look at the holster. At the same time, we rotate it down just this way. One thing that I want you to be aware of is not fishing for the holster, right? Over time, you'll get more natural at doing this. But one of the mistakes I see people doing on the range all the time is they go point the gun at their own hip and kind of just fish it into the holster, right? So doing this points the gun at parts you may not want to lose. If you have to find a hole for the holster, it's better to tap the outside pointing that way and then go back to it and back in, right? So wow. So one more time is fire and grip, hand on the chest. We look down, rotate the gun, tap the outside pointing at something other than my body, and then coming back in there. Notice that I have not lost my firing grip. I'm still holding the proper firing grip all the way to the holster. One thing you should not do is go here, find a hole, open your hand and just push it into the holster. If you do this part right here, you potentially could engage the trigger if there's a piece of shirt that got kind of in between the holster, and activate it and fire it. See, I got a piece of shirt in there. So maintain your firing grip all the way until it goes in. Then you can let go. So doing this movement in reverse and getting good at doing it in reverse will allow you to do it the other way, in the forward direction, right? So once you get enough practice with this, then you can do the whole sequence. Last part is how you stand, right? A lot of times in competition, people stand like this. If you stand with your feet wide apart, this gun truly is pointing to your leg. If it's in the holster, who cares, right? But once you draw, then now this gun is actually pointed at my knee or at the tip of my foot or something like that. When I compete, one of the things I like to do is actually stand like I'm about to run, like I'm about to take a run. So I'm standing like this, hips slightly tilted that way, so the gun's pointing that way. And as I draw, then I can move forward. And the same thing when I holster again. I just kind of kick my foot back, draw out and walk. And when I'm about to reholster, I take this foot back, kick my hip a little bit, maintain my firing grip all the way to the end, let it go. Be safe on the range. Hopefully this helps you learn how to draw from a holster. If you have another method, I would love to hear your comments. If I did it in a way in which you disagree, please let me know. I do enough of these that, I think doing it in reverse is easier for people that have never done it rather than just try to do it, right from the holster, because the motions are the same. So, but in any case, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for helping me grow my channel. Until next time.